Okay, so second video of the day, whether I upload it or not today remains to be seen because my internal hard drive on my computer is full and I have to transfer files onto my external hard drive. Anyway, I found some general information. This is the stuff that I gave to the other board director, and anyway, it's just the old stuff from back in the day, okay? Right, when I did over 1 million words, fighting a good fight for the community and for the country. So basically, I'm just going to hand this over, and it just gives them a general idea of what they're capable of doing if they become board directors and become movers and shakers. And then these are generic trademark agreements from back in the day when I first started out, just as general templates. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. They all read slightly different, I think, or are they the same? This one looks like the same. Okay. So they can be adjusted, or we can use the same ones. They were written by a trademark agent, so they're legitimate. And then there's an index you can see in regards to what this is all about. So I'm just going to read the index, and I'll include this into this envelope, and they can go over it, and then I'm going to ask them to give it back to me, because I probably have another full copy of it somewhere around the house. But at one point in the past, I printed out like 30, 40 of these things in terms of envelopes. This is where it gets expensive, because you're paying for paper and ink, and then if you're putting them in the mail, especially to the United States of America, Texas, Louisiana, and places like that, right, then, you know, not to mention what you're giving out in your own local community, it all starts to add up. So in essence, the foundation on a low ball owes me at least $30,000, but of course it's more than that, but I didn't put everything down in terms of operating expenses. But besides that point, so that's kind of why I want it back, just because if I need to photocopy again, I have, because right now I don't feel like going around and making sure, and I'm not photocopying anything right now, people. So just to keep it simple, I'm just going to read what's on the index in terms of what's in this envelope, and then after that I'll go see Pastor Granny. I'll bring the camera with me. We'll take a look at this meat. I'll hand that over to her, and that will probably be pretty much the end of this video. Okay, so we got the certificate of incorporation. I don't see that in here for whatever reason, because this has already been picked through. Gurdev, the vice president, has the official certificates that were up on the wall, because he was trying to do something there, and he said he needed that to show to somebody to prove that this foundation was legitimate. I've asked for them back, so I should be getting those back soon enough. Right, because he has them, right? And whatever he was trying to do apparently didn't go through, so I don't know. That's when he was talking about that $2 million. Okay, so there should be a certificate of incorporation, but we don't have that right now on hand. Then there's the Constitution, the opening letter, 21 pages, people, which is posted on the website, right? I took the time to actually post that on the website, I'm pretty sure. Schedule A, right? New Nations Unity After Hours community celebrations, to which the government is basically destroyed right even before it even got out the fucking door. Because oftentimes they'll talk about the things that you can do, and then when you go off and try and do them, you find out you can't, because they put in those breaks, those circuit breakers, right? Where, you know, you put your application in front of the city, you get all your ducks lined up in a row, and then you put your application in front of the city, and then the city just simply has to say, no, we don't want it, and anything that you worked for and put effort into is just out the freaking door. So, you know, be careful what you know, when these governments talk about, oh yeah, we're bringing in this legislation so that you can do this and this, is just a bunch of crock. Anyway, that's right. So Schedule B, New Nations Unity After Hours charity event, which, you know, was to go towards additional youth risk factors and general information, requests for extended hours of operations, right? Financial estimates and projections. I put in a 50-50 proposal. Actually, that was approved by the provincial government, but because it was squashed on a municipal level, nothing went forward, because, you know, poverty is manufactured. Just like wealth is manufactured, so is poverty, people. And the ones that are wealthy ensure that the ones that are poor never can work out and get above what oppresses them. And this nonprofit, so far, after 21 years, has proven that fact. As the government is conspiring to work towards creating even more poverty. Hold on a minute. I have Amari on the toilet right now. He's, I guess you can say half done. Just giving him a little more time, right? He's doing good. Doing good, people. I haven't been having to use any suppositories the last few times, and he's been doing his duties like he's supposed to, and you can hear he's not fussing, nothing. He's like half done, right? That's why I just give him a little more time. I mean, that's all we can do right now. Okay, so, you know, I know how governments operate, people, because I've been through it. 21 years of basically BS, okay? I can clearly see how poverty is manufactured, right, for select groups of individuals, some of it based on their ethnic heritage, right? And then I can also see how wealth is manufactured through favoritism and, you know, political favoritism, right? I guess you could say, right? And bribes and corruption and that kind of stuff, right? So, you know, anyway, I'm not going to worry about that right now. And then we've got Schedule C, 2, Provincial Government of British Columbia, Canada, request for seed money at 160 million, 160 million, 000, times 10 years. $160 million times 10 years. Request for provincial sales tax credit at 3%. Request to amend smoking legislation, merchandise sales. Okay? Because when I wrote this out, things were a lot more flexible. And when the BC Liberal government came into power, they made it sound like they were opening up certain industries within our communities, you know, to stimulate the economy and create more jobs and all this other stuff, right? So that was up my alley, right? And at the time when I was doing all this, I wasn't sure who was competing with who in terms of as I was writing this stuff out and submitting it to my local politicians, you know, I'd be watching the BC Liberal government, you know, up on TV and wherever they were, you know, going on with what they were trying to do. It was like too much in a line, but I can see that whatever they were doing now after all this time was nothing but a freaking smokescreen. What they did is they condensed anything that they were talking about into the Vancouver area, and they call it the entertainment district. They had no intentions at all to opening up the province and making it a fair playing field, because ultimately they manufacture poverty. and they manufacture wealth where they want it. And you know what? In today's terms, as to what people are going through, it's much more blatant. You can really see how some people are being completely bankrupt while others are getting completely rich. And this is through government design. Well, I've faced the same bullshit for years and years and years because of government corruption. But besides that point, Schedule D, New Nations Unity Block Sponsorship and Security. I mean, and this is like schedules, things that I wrote, just giving general ideas and how we can build these kind of programs into our community through the foundation. Okay, Schedule E, New Nations Unity Community and World Encyclopedia. I'm not supplying that right now. Local and International Educational Youth Initiative book, 522 pages. I photocopied a lot of those things too. Costed me $1,000. I still have a couple sets around. But again, time is the government's weapon. Contracts, trademark license with school districts and school boards, 3 pages. I mean, I learned the hard way. Schools don't like that kind of stuff because they like to be in control because they are controlled by the union, right? It's all union, people. If the union doesn't want it, you're not getting anywhere. And before the union will do anything, per se, for the community, the union only wants to take care of the union. Basically. Trademark license with schools, 3 pages. Again, you're getting into the union. And then there's Schedule A, the programs. Right? With the trademark license with schools, districts, and school boards. Schedule A and Schedule B. New Foundation for Community Partnerships, 5 pages. Host entertainment vendor. Contract will be revised to reflect a interest rate. This is where you get into lawyers that understand that kind of stuff. Right? Again, you need a strong board to take it to the next level. Schedule F, public park events schedule. Additional forms, drafts, and confirmation letters. I don't know if all this information is here, but page 1, sample, music activity, gift scholarship certificate, original provided on Long and McQuaid letterhead. Page 1, gift scholarship confirmation letter. New Foundation for Community Partnerships. Page 1, form. And then this is just me working, trying to build in that structure, right? And then Schedule G, new, and then like there's a whole other list of things in here. And then Schedule G, rough draft, 2 pages. New Nations Unity Recycling with Community Dignity, right? Additional forms, drafts, and confirmation literature. Page 1, confirmation literature. Public flyer, you know, okay, whatever. A registration form not completed because obviously it didn't go anywhere, right? Because, you know, that industry in terms of recycling has basically been taken over by the city, and they've got people running around now looking in your garbage cans to make sure that you follow their rules because they're the ones making the money off of the recycled goods, basically, people. That's manufactured poverty, right? So, you know, because at that time I was dealing with a lot of homeless people that were recycling, and I wanted to bring structure to their endeavors, right? You know, bring more dignity to what, not that they didn't have dignity because they were working and supporting themselves through scrap metaling and all this other stuff, but there was no support for them to be able to do it in a more maybe safer manner, that type of thing, because, you know, cities, they, you know, municipalities, they don't want that, right? They want to be in control of it. They don't want, you know, a separate entity helping homeless people recycle metal with dignity, right? I can't say it any other way outside of it's that manufactured poverty, right? Schedule H, New Nations Unity and hosts responsibilities, right? I guess that outlines, you know, what a host to a trademark under a contract what their responsibilities would be in terms of, you know, whatever that's under the contract in terms of using a federal trademark. They license out a federal trademark. Julian's sister doesn't license out the trademark. She doesn't do anything. She slanders it, people. Schedule I, New Nations Unity Community Living and/or Disaster Preparedness Plan. 5 pages, part 2 of 2. New Nations Unity Hotel and Community Block Restoration Project. Extension of Schedule 1, 2 of 2, 2 pages. Schedule JYJ. J, Youth Justice, right? And then there's like 9 pages that I wrote in there as a guideline as to the things that we can do to help with the youth. Now that is not up online because at some point I just stopped working on the website because, you know, life gets busy and I get distracted and, you know, and I mean, eventually I'd like to have it online, but that requires eyesight, to which I'm losing. Schedule K, New Nations Unity Home Safe and Local Travel Program. Schedule L, New Nations Unity Pet Initiative. And then 17, miscellaneous information. Now, whether all this information is here, for the most part it is, right? It's enough to get them, either they're interested in helping or they're not. One or the other, right? You know, it scares people. Unfortunately, what I've created scares people because, you know, you're not competing with your government, but you're definitely side by side with government, because anytime you start making money, the government puts their hand in it and they want to control it, right? And in my case, keeping me poor, targeting my family, having some members go missing, having some members just end up dead with no justice. I mean, what better way than to silence an international foundation to keep control of the wealth for themselves, people? Basically, as this public below that certain income level suffered the consequences with that manufactured poverty. Hold on a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to upload this video. I'm just going to say this one time, people, as I do this, okay? The title is, that's my comment to your video, maybe new board directors, okay? So it's converted over, so now I'm going to upload it. And then Amari's almost done now, right? And then we're going to go and see Pastor Granny. We're going to give her the envelope, right? And they can discuss it between themselves, what they want to do, right? I'm trying to empower them. Even though they're up against a big battle in regards to the corruption within our society when it comes to that manufactured poverty or manufactured wealth. The foundation represents manufactured wealth for the community and the province and the country, to which many politicians and their cohorts find as a direct threat to their bottom dollar line, to which many of it falls back onto the public union sector, because they're the ones who ultimately make up the government. I wouldn't say 89 or 90 politicians. No, it's more like the public union sector with their, you know, QP and that type of thing, right? But besides that point, I was bringing up bad memories. I say bad memories because 21 years is a long time to come full circle to try and draw on that positive energy that I had 21 years ago in terms of faith, right? For all the right reasons, right? And which brings me to right now where, you know, as I go about my daily chores, I guess you can say, you know, I just want to remind people that my health with my eyes, people, I don't know. Technically, I should be going, seriously, to my family doctor and getting another referral for this eye doctor. But to what kind of family doctor am I going to? And this is where my government needs to take responsibility. What was the last thing that my family doctor said to me when I was at the clinic? He didn't take care of the paperwork or anything that I wanted to do, right? Before we left the patient room, I got a referral for Amari. My doctor did give me a mass exemption. He did give a mass exemption for Amari, for Andre. But anything else that when it related to me, he said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I can't, get into it right now. You have to come back. And I'm like, okay. So I leave the patient room. I go to the front desk, but I'm filling out the paperwork right now to get Ciera's medical files and ShaMay's medical files. And then all of a sudden, my doctor's standing there saying, no, you can't get it. Blah, 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 blah. Take us to court. Okay, take us to court. And I'm like, well, no, I'm pretty sure I can get it. I'm going to fill out the paperwork. I'll pay whatever you want me to pay for those photocopies. Nope, I'll work it out. Long story short, they all said, take it to court. Right? They wouldn't give me what I wanted. They said that their boss said, take him to court. So not only is my doctor, my family doctor of 10 years saying, no, take us to court to get those medical files. But we've got the owner of the clinic saying that on the phone, like through his receptionist, because they refused to give me my daughter's medical files as my health is failing, people. With this. And I know for a fact that if I go to any clinic, it doesn't matter what the clinic is, no doctor is going to prescribe anything for my eyes. Because they can't. They just can't. And I don't even think they can give me a referral because they wouldn't be my family doctor. I would have to go back to my family doctor to get a referral to go see the eye specialist, which will take months to even have happen. Okay? How the hell am I supposed to go face my family doctor after the way he treated me, people? It's enough that if I need a referral for Amari, Tisha will take Amari for me. So that we can get, because we need referral for this and referral for that, and then we need another, and right? There's no family doctors taking patients right now. And the one family doctor that I've had for 10 years basically punched me in my mouth. And I'm suffering for it. So if something happens bad to me because of that, people, okay? And, right? You know where it came from. You know who instigated it. You basically know who's responsible for it. In terms of that lack of duty of care. But you see, that's what the government's banking on. Right? They want people just to fall off the grid. Right? I just wanted to say that because I struggle every day with my eyes, which affects just the whole 9 yards, right? Makes it hard for me to function. So, I hope these people do take on the mission of the foundation and use their expertise to break that glass ceiling and make a difference in this world. I hope I'm around to see it. But if I'm not, understand that I have no regrets doing what I've done when it comes to the foundation. I don't. Any more than I have any regrets for any lawsuit that I filed against a corrupt government for that manufactured poverty to exploit the most vulnerable in our society so that they can get rich as a union, as a public sector union with their bed partners, their special interest groups, their lobbyist groups. They're high on the horse. We're better than you because we work for the government. Yeah, okay, you work for the government. Well, we're all learning what the government is all about, aren't we? I can't find the video. Oh, here it is. Okay. This, I'm now uploading my comment to your video. Maybe new board directors. You will see later on what happens with that meat. I may or may not come home with some. It depends if I want to can it or not. I'm tired. Literally, people, I'm getting tired. Like, tired in many ways. So it has to be really enticing for me to want to take it at this point. But 6 jars, maybe? No. 6 jars, food prep, might work. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to just pop this guy in here for a second. Okay, we're not going to give him no fame because, first of all, I don't even think this individual is legitimate. He's always got dead eyes. Okay? Seriously, this individual has dead eyes. A lot of them do, people. It's like the Men in Black got to them a long time ago and the original was replaced with a fake. Okay? That's how I feel about it. Alright? So, you know, more reason for this type of individual to make it so that people like me lose our family doctors, lose our Uncle Johns, lose our Auntie ShaMay's, Auntie Ciera's, lose our opportunities, lose our businesses, or whatever it may be. Because at the end of the day, this guy, as a individual that clearly is being handled by other entities, because he doesn't represent the province people, okay? I'm sorry. It doesn't wash with me. He's pushing an envelope and nothing more. And because he's in a position of power, and people are so gullible to follow whatever's being put on their plate in terms of dictatorship, just wanted to say, I'm not falling for the old okie dokie. Okay, people. So now it's like, I don't know, May 29th or something like that. There's a reason why we call this little baby Fertile Myrtle. Do you see? Do you see how much she bushed out? Right? And I cut her right back, people. Every year. Look at her. She just bloomed. So anyway, this is the big chore for the next couple of days. I think I'm gonna, I don't know. I've been talking about selling old Betsy here. So I asked Andre to give her a wash and, I may or may not hire somebody to put a battery in there and see if they can jump start it. We'll see. But for now, Fertile Myrtle is the focus of my day, pretty much. Alright? Okay, people. It is May 30th, Sunday, 2021. That's my little plasma ball in the background there. Kind of in the dark. Anyway. I'm not going to drag this out. I'm just going to make a few comments here. Just touch base on a couple of things. Okay. The first thing I want to say is, I don't know what YouTube is doing. Like, seriously. Okay? In terms of, they suppressed my channel. Basically, people, for 2009, right? 11 years. They suppress people. Shadow ban. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. They've been shadow banning my channel from the very beginning. Because basically what they do is they prop up those who can make them money. Over the years. And then along came the governments, more than one, and they basically bought off, I guess, Google and YouTube, definitely YouTube, infiltrated YouTube and took it over, and it's just a propaganda machine now. So channels like mine are even buried more. Especially if you have something to say, of substance, that is. Maybe not everybody can relate to it, but a lot of people can. And if it doesn't fit the political narrative that's being pushed by our governments, and it can't be capitalized on and made money from, you know, you're basically a second-class citizen on YouTube. That's what I'm trying to say. You're YouTube's bitch until you leave a bad relationship. Right? That's the only way you can remove yourself, is by leaving. So anyway, and they know it. Right? They know it. And they know that most people aren't going to leave because there's really nowhere else to go. So, with that said, what YouTube's been doing is shadow banning a lot of comments. Alright? You know, they're trying to make YouTube safe. As if. As if, people. Okay? They're trying to make it look like they're protecting, I don't know, who? Who are they protecting, people? Because they're sure in the hell not protecting people like me. Right? But I just want people who are making comments understand that I'm approving the comments, but YouTube isn't showing them. Okay? So if your comment is not showing, like, oh, I'll show you, right? It's because of YouTube. I don't think they like the word bitch. Alright? Bitch is a key word. If you can avoid writing bitch into your comment, write that girl. There's a higher probability your comment will go through. Because even if I approve your comment, the word bitch, like I said, YouTube doesn't seem to like it in comments. Right? But then, you know, a lot of this stuff is being done by individuals being paid at a desk with their file folder. New Nations Unity. Make sure you stock that channel and keep it in check. That's what you get paid for. Is being instigated by an individual that actually stalks my channel from YouTube. Okay? Otherwise, it wouldn't have been as difficult as it has been all these years to rise above what oppresses me on YouTube. YouTube is a very oppressive web hosting service. Well, video hosting service. Very oppressing.
if you're not going to be their circus clown, their circus bear, their circus tiger, their circus monkey, whatever circus act, if you can't perform to their expectations, you're going to be mistreated, trust me. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, they sent, and I know they've done this to everybody, okay, so it's not picking on me, but they sent everybody notice that they're going to start putting advertising on other people's videos randomly where they want. Okay, now they purposely suppressed my channel so I could never monetize my channel, people. And if I was to monetize my channel, I've always said it, I would monetize and then I would take that money that accumulated through that process and I had invested back into the foundation. But YouTube never wanted that to happen. Of course not. That would be too real, right? And instead, now, they may start monetizing my videos once their little program kicks in with their billion-dollar profit margin that they already have, and may very well start capitalizing off of my videos as they continue to shadow ban me and abuse me, basically. Okay? Because we know how I feel about YouTube. Right? So that's the second thing. So if for whatever strange reason, after all these years, I start getting advertising on my videos, let it be known it has nothing to do with me and with YouTube exploiting my channel. Because that is the history of YouTube. I don't think they will monetize my channel because they can't control me as much as they'd like. I'm sitting on 2 strikes, people, and I'm still making videos, okay? And I can almost guarantee you, once those strikes are gone, which I think they are next month, whoever's sitting at the desk there at YouTube freaking headquarters will probably go out of their way and strike my channel again just to beat me down again, because that's what they've been doing, okay? So why they want to put why they would want to put advertising on my videos as they slap me around, I don't know. But it's possible because they've already sent me the notice that they can do it if they want, okay? So I just want people to understand that if for whatever strange reason you see a video advertisement on one of my videos, it had nothing to do with me, it had everything to do with YouTube just being wanting more money for themselves, in terms of they're not satisfied with $15 billion, they want $30 billion, okay? Or $2 billion, or I think they're up pushing $15 billion a year, people. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. They're in the billions anyway in terms of profit margin. So why they would want to do this to content creators, I don't know. Outside of they just want a free running circus where they make all the profit, basically, right? They're taking away people's abilities to make money for themselves, right? Doesn't affect me because they've never allowed me to make money. Ever, people. They've corrupted my channel so much with their shadow banning and just the whole 9 yards that, you know. Okay, I don't want to dwell on it. I just wanted to point that out. So, I am not shadow banning anyone's comments here. Okay? Right? And if a nasty comment comes in from me, it's funny how YouTube will let that stay up, right? And I actually have to copy and paste, repost it so it remains, and then go back and block the stalker with the fake user account, right? To prevent that from spamming my boards. But if somebody comes in and says something in relation to a video where, you know, there's actually death threats against me being documented, YouTube is shadow banning it. Okay. You know, I don't know. And then the other thing is, you see my little plasma ball there? It's just because I'm sitting here in the dark with the light over here, so my face is kind of glowing, right? And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Oh, I think it was April. Was saying I need to be worried about cheeseburger. No. Let me tell you something. Cheeseburger got sucked in like everybody else that gets sucked in. Cheeseburger wasn't and isn't the one that's instigating this, okay? Cheeseburger just happened to come by and have a drink. Cheeseburger was an adult. He's entitled to drink. It just so happened he was in the video. I didn't even know who the dude was, okay? I wasn't, you know, that wasn't the point, people. The point was Julian was going to court lying to the judge, saying he didn't drink and he didn't do drugs. Right? Well, we know the truth now, don't we? Has nothing to do with cheeseburger, okay? Absolutely nothing. And if what this girl is saying is true in terms of Julian and cheeseburger sitting in my fucking driveway in the middle of the night plotting and scheming how to kill me and the rest of my family just so they could get Amari, like, do you honestly think that guy wanted to think for himself to do that without being instigated, if it is even true what she's saying? Of course not. It's not his business. He was obviously being manipulated for whatever reason, if there's any truth to that. Because the guy isn't even involved in any of all this outside of coming by for a drink. Okay, there is no crime having a drink. Alright? And obviously he wasn't disturbed with being recorded because, you know, if I remember the video correctly, it didn't bother him. So, you know, it's not a big deal. Nobody knows who the guy is except for the one with the blah, 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 just blabbing their mouth. Alright? That's the only reason anyone's talking about cheeseburger. Okay, so don't worry about cheeseburger because it's not his fight, people. He's getting caught in the crossfire. And this is where young people need to be careful and not be so gullible and get caught up around those individuals that like to manipulate others in the group. Right? They're the instigators. They're the ones that plant the seed. Oh, well, you know, if we just do this and, you know, and then we can get this but, you know, maybe we shouldn't. And then the other person's like, well, I don't know. It sounds, well, you know, but, you know, and they like to plant the seed. They're little shit disturbers, right? Get other people going. You know, it's a psychological thing, right? And then they stand back and they watch other people do their dirty work for them, thinking that they're not going to be held to account because they're not the ones that actually did the crime. They just instigated the crime. Okay? And that's assuming that a crime was committed. All right? It depends how far that instigation can take it to the next level. All right? Masters of manipulation. Obviously, Cheeseburger was getting caught up with masters of manipulation. That's why I always say ShaMay wasn't murdered just by Julian. There was other people involved, people. And not only was there other people involved, but at the end of the day, a year later, there was a big, big, big payout in terms of insurance, car insurance money. Okay? We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars for an accident that really didn't cause no injury. Listen, I rolled off a mountain when I was 25 years old. 200 feet down. The car was going like this. It was a little Pinto. I was in the car, right? We were on the mountain. I wanted to get home. Instead of waiting for the bus, the girl said she's going to drive. I said, okay, let's go. I got in the car. She started to fishtail. I'm screaming, get your foot off the brake, get your foot off the gas. And the thing just, and then down the hill. All the windows smashed out, okay? By the time we got to the bottom of the hill, all the windows had smashed out, and the car was smoking, and there was sparking in the front engine area. And we said, first thing I said, are you okay? She said, yeah. Are you okay? I said, yeah, okay. We need to get the hell out of this car. We got out of the car, we crawled up the mountain, and the bloody thing blew up, people. Okay? I didn't run off to ICBC and put in an insurance claim, crying, ooh, ooh, ooh. I went on with my life. But you see, that's the big thing about British Columbia, Canada. You can't find a lawyer out here to help you with injury claims of any kind, especially if it's against the government. Because the big ticket item, the easy win, is the car insurance claims. That's where money is being laundered, okay, through the illegal organ harvesting. That's one method, right, in terms of big payouts. Get me a body, all right, get into a car accident, you're going to come into it big. Just like John Hurt, the one that lured Ciera to her death. He was talking about buying a house before he walked off with Ciera. Next thing you know, Ciera's dead. And then he's saying the cops are telling him to shut up or he's going down. I bet you he got paid off, people. I know of another young man that's sitting up in jail right now, right? Because somebody got paid off to testify against him to keep him in jail. All right? I do believe the mother. That's what the mother told me. Her son is in jail for life because somebody else testified, because the police paid that guy to testify against her son to keep her son in jail. It's just money laundering. It's all over the place. Okay? All right? So, ShaMay was targeted for organs. I do believe there was more than one person involved. Just like I do believe that Julian was probably, well, I do believe Julian was in my back with Cheeseburger plotting and scheming how to kill my family and myself. Okay? Because that's what I've been around, people, is those kind of individuals that are little instigators and try and get other people involved, and you know, and then nobody gets held to account. But ultimately, you know, it's more than one person doing the dirty deed. I don't think Julian acted on his own. I really don't. ShaMay was gang stalked by that group that associated with Julian, and I'm not talking about Cheeseburger, okay? Cheeseburger wasn't stalking ShaMay. More like his sister. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. I just want you to know that if you're posting comments and they're not going through, it's not because of me, okay? Try and refrain from the word bitch. YouTube doesn't seem to like that in terms of in comments. And if you're going to spell it like bitch, spell it B-Y-T-C-H. Maybe try that. Who knows? But for all what YouTube is doing, it really means nothing in the great grand scheme of things, because they're not protecting anybody, people. If they were protecting somebody, they would be taking down some of this shit that this girl spews. Okay? Right? I can't go to the cops out here, people. When she was running around posting ShaMay's half-nude pictures, you know, tried to get the cops to go after her and get it taken down, they'd come back and say, we can't find her. We can't find her. We can't find her. What kind of bullshit is that? No, they don't want to find her because they don't want to open up that can of worms, people, in terms of the cover-up of ShaMay's murder and then the cover-up of the illegal organ harvesting and her teeth. Okay? So they're going to let her do what she wants to do no matter what. Because that's how they operate. Seriously. That's how they operate. They allow people like that to run rampant and free in society so that they can cause harm and injury, and then they just can come in and scoop up on those dead bodies and capitalize off of it and just pay out a few little ICBC claims here and there, and you know, and run their taxpayers' money through the system to pay for crime. That's how I see it. That's my experience, people. That's what's been going on, and it's been going on in the States too, and people know it. Right? That's like taking a truckload of guns, going into the inner city in the middle of the night, leaving the truck there on the road with the door open, so all the young people in the neighborhood can, oh, what's that? Let's go and see. Oh, guns. Oh, great. Nobody's around. Let's run off with them. Okay? Who do you think's doing that? Your neighbor corner store operator? Hell no. It's those dirty fucking cops. That's what it is, people. Dirty government union employees. That pipeline from school to prison. Right. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on all of that. Okay, I don't. I just want people to know that YouTube may or may not start monetizing my channel with their freaking advertising, which will benefit nothing to nobody except for YouTube and their billion-dollar fucking profit margin. Or, you know, in terms of comments, just understand that they're not protecting anybody, okay? They're not. Right? They're allowing it to happen. Okay? They're allowing it to happen, people. Right? So anyway, I was out in the yard a little bit. I'll just show you how fertile Myrtle was looking. I didn't come back and show you the end result because I'm still not finished. I'm just plugging along, right? You know, I'm not really motivated to do any videos right now. I'm just plugging along. I've got a lot of work I have to do, so I'm just kind of trying to stay focused on it. And, I mean, obviously, I try not to worry, right, in terms of what's stalking my yard based on the pattern and history of that type of behavior. Okay. So, here, I'll just show you for example. And then we'll end it. Okay, 2 comments just came in from this lady here who lost a 14-year-old daughter. Okay. YouTube let one go through, but they didn't let the other one go through for whatever reason. Okay, if you notice, there's really not that many comments here, but it says, where am I? it says 25 comments. And that's because, what do you call it? YouTube is, just hold on a minute. Okay, so here we go. This one here, they did not allow to stay up. Okay, they've shadow banned this comment. This one, they allowed. Okay, and here's my comment. Being trashed by a nobody, okay? It's right here, you can see. See? They allowed this one with my comment to go through. Alright? But that's the only one that they allowed to go through. And they're doing this to April as well. And sometimes some of Tammy's, they will shadow ban as well. Right? April has a few comments on here, and they're not even showing. Okay? Don't ask me why YouTube does this, but it does. Okay? I'm going to read this one here, because this is important. Right? Seriously. Okay? I actually made some comments on her videos. I'm pretty sure I remember this lady. I think her and I, we don't always necessarily get along. Alright, I think this is the lady last year who tried to give me some advice in terms of something, right? And because I didn't necessarily take the advice that she wanted me to take, she maybe got a little annoyed, right? And, you know, she's suffering with her own pain, okay? Or maybe I'm confusing her with somebody else. But besides that point, okay, I do remember this lady mentioning that her daughter was murdered, okay? And that, you know, sometimes through my videos, I inspire her to keep going forward. Because it's really hard, people, when you lose a child, right? Doesn't matter if they're 14 or 22 or 3, you know, or 30. Right? You always have something missing in your heart, okay? I actually made some comments on her videos, and she then went to my channel and commented, and this is her, this girl, right? That little troublemaker over here. That's what she does. If somebody comes and tries to stand up for ShaMay, or for me, or whatever, this one here will go onto that other person's channel and will harass and attack, and okay, so what this lady here has been through, other people have been through it as well. Okay, Tommy eventually had to delete this girl out in terms of ban her, because she was going crazy on Tommy stuff too, right? Okay, let's just read this first. I actually made some comments on her videos, and then she went to my channel and commented horrible things under the video of my 14-year-old murdered daughter. Okay? I had to block her. Right? She's a horrible person all the way around. Something is definitely wrong with her. She's evil, and it's obvious she doesn't care about anyone. No empathy, no sympathy, just a disgusting waste of oxygen. Okay, so what? She's not allowed to express herself? Because what is YouTube protecting? This girl? How many times does this girl get protected by YouTube as this girl goes around causing all this fucking shit? Okay? Seriously. And we're not talking just, you know, we're talking life and death here, people. Okay? Like, people are actually dying around this girl. Okay? It's kind of like Julian. You know? ShaMay wasn't the first and the last, okay? Who died around Julian. Alright, that's not what we're getting into. The point is YouTube shadow banned it. This woman lost a daughter. She's already experienced a negative interaction with this girl. She has a right to say that this girl came on to this lady's page, commented all these bad things that upset this woman about her 14-year-old murdered daughter simply because she wants to side a little bit with ShaMay and her family. She doesn't like it, so she's now attacking this woman, right, to the point where this woman has to block this girl, right? But yet YouTube is protecting this girl by hiding this comment. And YouTube does that to April as well. They blocked this one. Well, I don't know if they blocked that one, but they've blocked other ones. Let's see. Oh. I don't know what YouTube does. Anyway, I can't control YouTube, okay? I'm just saying. Alright. And then, the other thing I just want to show you. Okay, this is this girl's TikTok. Okay? I noticed through her shenanigans, her followers are coming in more. And this is why she does it. Right? We talked about that already. Okay? She's getting more followers for her shenanigans, basically. Because if she wasn't putting out her shenanigans, people wouldn't be that interested in her little whatever it is. Right? I don't use TikTok, but you can see, right? I mean, obviously sex sells, we know that, right? But, and now she's bringing in Amari, which makes me kind of not want to put Amari on video for a while, because she's contorting it to make herself look like she's a victim when she is not. And now that she's got the attention of Truth for Reality, she's posting it on TikTok. I don't know if he's seen this. Probably not, because it only has 2 views, and one of them's mine. Right?
Hey, besties. So tell me how I have Truth for Reality off of YouTube hella upset. His bitch ass literally commented on my old video from yesterday or the day before. Not the recent one. I think he thought he was gonna... Hey, besties. So tell me how I have Truth for Reality off of YouTube hella upset. His bitch ass literally commented on my old video from yesterday or the day before. Not the recent one. I think he thought he was gonna... Hey, Beth.
Okay. So as you can see, she thinks it's a joke. Literally. She thinks it's a joke, people. And YouTube props her up by deleting legitimate comments, well, not deleting, hiding. By hiding legitimate comments from people that have been around for eons following my channel. Good or bad people. Right? Not every video is bad and not every video is good. But, you know, we just go with the flow, right? And hopefully through my story, it will help other families to hopefully prevent some of this stuff from happening in the first place, and to help people to stand up against the corruption within their own community when it relates to the public union sector and their affiliate groups like policing agencies and that type of thing, because ultimately, you know, they're on the hunt for organs, right, and teeth and that kind of stuff, and they use that, you know, lower class income bracket mainly of individuals to harvest those products, and they use other individuals to create the supply in terms of murder by fentanyl, murder by gun, you know? Like Shayna, in her house, 7:30 in the morning. It doesn't matter whether it had no hydro or it was a shack. The point is the boyfriend got shot in the foot and Shayna got shot in the head, and the cops still don't know who shot the gun, which I don't believe, people. I don't believe it, people. I don't. I just don't. I know too much. I've seen too much. So anyway, I don't know how they're going to put ads up on my videos. It would be funny if they do, though, in terms of YouTube. I mean, they're so shady, I could see them doing it. But just let it be known it has nothing to do with me. Okay. I always did say, though, if they want to put videos up on, like when I do park events and stuff like that, that would be okay, right? Because, you know, it's a public event, and, you know, I'm participating in community activism, and, you know, if YouTube feels that, you know, that, okay, I was willing to cut some slack there. But if they start going into my old videos, good or bad, and start putting freaking ads on it just so they can get richer, so that at the end of the day they can protect people like this that lurk in people's fucking yards, plotting and scheming and trying to get other people involved to harm and injure others for an end goal that, what? They can't harvest my eyes, people. My eyes, I'm going blind. Right? Okay, so I'm going to leave it on that. There's nothing really else to say. If there is, I already forgot. Okay. Right. This is where my government needs to step up to the plate. Okay? They need to deal with that notice of civil claim. They need to clean up their own frickin' swamp, people. This could have been prevented a long, long, long time ago. ShaMay's death could have been prevented.